Tony Snell at breakfast.
BBC Radio Merseyside.
It's 11 minutes to 8 now. Now, if you've got a problem or maybe a dilemma and you're wondering how to fix it, you may want to have a look back in time into the history books to find a possible solution. Doesn't sound as crazy as first thought, this. That's exactly what Big Heritage, a company based in Bromborough, have done as they aim to use Merseyside's rich history to show how modern-day issues were solved by past generations. Now, it's proved so successful, they've even won an award for it. Joining me in the studio is the founder, Dean Paton. Hi, Dean.
Hi, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You tell us how the idea for Big Heritage came about, because I love history. I love local history particularly, but tell me about you and what you do.
Well, virtually everyone loves local history, and it come about when I was at the University of Chester as a kind of mature undergrad, archaeology undergrad. And
a lot of history there, mate.
Well, very
Chester,
much so, but I mean, even on both sides of the Mersey, there's equal amounts of history, and what I found is that archaeology, as a sense, seems to be a kind of white, middle-class, rich person's plaything, as opposed to something that really should belong to everyone. It's about people. Archaeology is just connected with people. So I started up a small project going out to schools and talking to more kind of local communities on the ground, grassroots, about how they can get involved with history and archaeology, understanding what is in their kind of back gardens, if you like. And it grew from that into a business, really, into an organisation that takes history and takes archaeology out to the people. We're kind of preachers of the past, if you like, and we're tackling social problems by using the past as a kind of conduit to it.
I wanted to talk to you about that. How can we tackle the problems that we face today by looking back at what happened in the past? How does that work?
Well, everything that we've got a problem with now has happened before. We try to think everything's unique to us, and we've got all these issues.
Give me an example.
Okay, well, look at the food crisis at the moment. We're eating horse meat because we're eating too much meat, and we look into the past and we think, we have our burger or our beef every day. Well, look right through history, and meat is something to be, savoured as a treat or something for the preserve of only a few. And we seem to have this idea now that it's a 7-day-a-week thing, and that the climate's being affected by it, our health being affected by it. So we can look with, kind of environmental and bone data to say, well, people weren't eating meat 7 days a week, and they were much healthier, and the climate was, affected by that. So
and we did a lot of exercise. We ploughed the fields then, really. We didn't have machines to do it for us, I suppose.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got a big project at the moment looking at childhood obesity, and this is a bit more of a fun example, but not everyone's a footballer. I couldn't kick a ball to save my life as a kid, big Evertonian, but can't kick a ball. But for children, we've got kind of Roman and Viking style kind of training activities and things they can do to keep them fit, but not necessarily based around sport. So that's kind of using the conduit of people's excitement of the past rather than a lesson from the past itself. But it just goes to show that people have a natural love of their own local history, and we're just harnessing that really to make the world a little bit of a better place.
And you've recently become the first monthly winner of the Merseyside Innovation Awards. I mean, that's a nice feather in your cap, isn't it?
It was. I mean, the awards seem to be very technology focused and very forward thinking, and I think probably the innovation that really grasped the award for us was the fact that we looked back instead of look back to look forward, really. And things like using the museum service. We've got Museum of Liverpool on the waterfront there, which is just a stunning collection of artefacts, and we're using that as a tool to teach people about things about working together, things about trade, things about communities coming together rather than being separate. So it's that is the innovation I think that Big Heritage do.
You're right in what you say. I'll give you a perfect example now. We look back, hundreds, possibly even thousands of years ago, and we saw windmills. We'll harness wind power. What have we got at Burbo Bank?
Well, exactly.
And it's exactly the same.
We've done the same project with Mersey Travel. They asked us to do exactly that. Say, how can we get children to understand about harnessing the power of the wind and the waves? So we reconstructed a full-size Viking boat with a sail that basically powered itself by wind and waves, and all of a sudden the penny dropped in children's minds. It was the fact that this is how wave and wind power is something that we can harness, and we're shortlisted for some other awards for that project. But again, a neat example of how the past can be used as a tool for tackling problems.
And for you, getting involved with the kids and passing on your enthusiasm for it. As soon as you sat down and we started talking about this, you could tell you're so enthusiastic about it. You're selling it to me. I want to be in one of your classes.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, that's a key feature, isn't it? To make it exciting and to make it interesting when you're sitting down and you're talking to kids. That's crucial, isn't it?
I think the local thing's so important. we learn about the Romans or the Vikings and the Saxons in schools, but why aren't we learning about what the Romans are doing in Merseyside? You know, Mells, for instance, was trading with the Roman Empire 100 years before they'd even tried to invade Britain. You know, we were well ahead of the game. We're grafters on Merseyside, and we always have been, and you know, thousands and thousands of years of history of Merseyside, of people getting up and doing things. And I think it's nice to look back at them examples and think, you know, we hit times like this when it's a bit rough, and you know, Merseyside gets itself a bad name sometimes. You think, well, it's not. You know, this history proves that we're innovative, we're hard working, we're grafters, and I think Big Heritage is taking it out to schools and taking it out to communities and saying, you know, look, be proud of what we are, be proud of who you are, and the past tells us this. You can only get bigger for you, this, can't it? You know, because schools are going to say, come into our class, come into our school, give us a chat. Well, we go out and take real, you know, artefacts, real finds that are relevant to their local areas, and it's not about, you know, bringing a Roman dressed up. It's about, look, you know, bring in someone who understands Roman archaeology in Merseyside, in Mells, in Liverpool, or Viking or Anglo-Saxon history, or things later on. So it's growing. It's growing as a business because we're bringing communities together, we're bringing people together, and we're educating children as well. So it can't be bad. Okay. Crucial question for you, killer question for you. If you had a time machine, would you rather live now or would you rather live back then? Back when. I'd probably go back to watch Dixie Dean score his 60th goal, but not quite the Roman time, but, you know, some days it feels like that. Dean, thanks very much indeed for coming in. Brilliant, and it's nice to see you so enthusiastic about it, and good luck with the Big Heritage. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's 5 minutes to 8 now.